Okay, welcome to our advanced trainings on every Thursday night. My name is Petra. My last name is Tejak. If you're going to search for me on Facebook, you can find me in the Facebook group Healy Australia New Zealand members. You don't need to pronounce it; it's okay. I get so many different pronunciations of that. It's perfectly fine. But if you want to learn my story and who I am, if you don't know me, please go to the first recording of these trainings where I shared my story. Whoever is from Australia and came to Sydney conference, you probably heard me share my personal story of healing and my journey through this energetic world. Just on a short, there's quite a few of you that's new. My journey in this quantum field of frequency started when I was 7 years old and kind of amplified at year 20 when I almost died. And then I was guided through my own journey of healing to use my own energy to heal. Today, I am healed. I am whole and healed, balancing still the tweaks, but I have nothing of what I was told I will never heal. So just wanted to share, this is a short version of everything, but just so you know that I come from experience. Um, for me in life, experience are more important than any titles, if I may say so. I have many titles, but literally, my life put me into doing the work that is completely different, if I may say. And when life gives you lemons, you do the lemonade, right? Or how do you say? So, we've done a lot of the foundational work in energy. So this is not a beginner's training, this is advanced training. So we are diving deeper into understanding what healing really is and how we can use it on different levels. Yeah, so you can widen your horizons, you can stretch your brains a bit. I would love you to ask questions. There'll be questions at the end. I'll go through a presentation. And I would love to have a discussion. For me, community is all about learning and sharing and learning from each other. Yeah, so I'm not perfect by all means. And I'm still learning all the time. If I wouldn't be learning, I wouldn't be here on earth. Yeah, so that's how I see it. So please, if you have anything to add, if you would like to share, if you have any questions, please, I would love to hear them. But on that note, I'm going to start sharing so we have more time for the real thing. Okay, so please let me know if you see my screen that is actually saying shift the frequency, transform your reality. Belief system. Thumbs up, you see it? Perfect. Awesome. Cool. Great. So tonight, we are talking and discussing the beliefs, so what they are, how they actually influence our perception of the world, and also how we can align our belief system to get the outcomes that we want. We looked at focus last week, our vision of where we are going. So we're going to continue on that one. So if you haven't watched that one, that's okay. You can always get the recording and you can watch those as well so you can build on them. Okay, so what are beliefs? I would like to hear, what do you think beliefs are? I have all these things here on the slides, but what do you think a belief is? And you can freely unmute yourself when I ask you things, so it's perfectly fine. So you can.
I would like to say, I would like to add, say something. I have done work on beliefs, and I do think a lot of people go, oh, I have got really good beliefs. But when I've gone back or done work on it or journaled or meditated, you know, they're hidden. There's something that you believed at 5 years old or 6 years old or 10 years old or 12 years old. It's not just, oh, I've got a really good belief system, because there's so much that's hidden, I have found, for me. It's like peeling an onion. Yeah, you know, you find and then you go, oh, crap.
Yep.
There it
I
is.
feel you.
Yeah, there it is.
Exactly feel you.
Yeah.
Beautifully said. And the way I see belief, so this is a definition of belief, yeah? So there's few definitions, but I've chose the one that kind of suits us today so we can actually build on it. So the definition of the belief is conviction of the truth of some statement or the reality of some being or phenomenon, especially when based on examination of evidence. I know that's a mouthful, right? So let's
Mm.
break this down, yeah, so we can understand what it really is. So in my view, what belief really is, it's a group of thoughts. Yeah, why thought? Thought is the smallest particle in quantum field. And when we group those smallest particles, they become bigger. And when we group thoughts we believe in to be true through experience or the experience of others, yeah, that we trust when we're little, um, we actually form beliefs. And we could actually, when we entrust in other people, we believe certain things that, we don't have an experience of. And then later in life, we add on our experience, but we still believe the same thing. Or we tend to change it if we decide to. Yeah. So a belief system is formed out of a group of thoughts, and a thought is the smallest particle in quantum field, and it's actually the foundation of everything we build on. So what does this actually mean? So why is that so important? Why are beliefs in our lives so important? Well, what our mind believes, and this is quantum physics, and this is something that's, now science is proving, our body actually feels. So when a thought is formed in a physical body, the thought activates a reaction of a physical body that moves the emotion through the body and actually gives us sensations and feelings. And if we feel something in the body, what we're doing, because that's energy and frequency, we looked at before in our previous sessions, we actually create that to be true in our environment. So thought is the foundation. But thought doesn't work without the emotion because the emotion is the one that charges it. Our world that we see and observe is also defined by our beliefs. They're actually the boundaries of our reality that we live in. And they form the walls, either, permeable walls or they're actually solid walls that we could cross or not cross. So we can see the world around us based on those boundaries, which are beliefs. They are the core mechanism we are creating from in our life. And they define our identity and also our behavior. And we're going to go deeper into that so you understand why I'm saying this. Because all of this is really important when we are actually trying to get to the root cause of a certain belief. Without that, we are literally just what I like to say, scratching the surface or wiping the dust off the shelf, right? We're just moving the dust left and right. We're not actually doing any deep work where the roots are, right? Okay, so those of you who have been here last week, you remember the path of our journey, where we're going, the vision, and the goals on the road that we are traveling towards. So I popped this here because our focus of where we're going is the journey towards something we want to achieve. If the vision is you want to be healthy and fit and thriving, if the vision is, relationships are beautifully connected and, whatever that is, you want money, great, whatever that vision is, you need to have a path and need to have focus in order to get there. But what would truly actually move you doing the steps is actually your belief system. So if you are at the beginning of the road, so I made these beautiful squares, and those squares are actually your perception, the view of your world. So when you start here and when you actually finish your journey here, as we were telling last week, you will be a completely different person. And when I say that, I literally mean that. You will be a completely different person. it is not possible to be the same person here that you were here. Why is that? Because the belief system, the boundaries of our reality in this position are completely different than the boundaries of our reality in this position. Because we are moving and we need to expand our perceptions and we need to expand our horizons in order to transform and move ourselves forward. There is no movement and change without transformation, and there is no transformation without shifting our perspective and widening our view. So our view can start really narrow, but then it needs to widen more and more and more every step of the way at every goal that we take, because otherwise we can't get to our goal. So why is that important? Because when we look at our world, so let's say that these circles here, the white circle is your current situation. You are current in this situation. Let's say you are not healthy and you want to be thriving in health. Let's say, yeah, this is hypothetical. And in this view, you can only see your pain in the body. You can only see how horrible you feel, how depressed you are, how, you want to have it different. Yeah. And to have it different means that you want to get to the blue circle outside. But you see this little pulsing circle in here? That is your limiting beliefs view and your reality. So if you don't widen this circle, you will be going round and round in circles wanting this, but you will never get to this. So you will need to widen your horizons, meaning that the beliefs that you had previously in your life, and we'll look at what consists of that belief, need to transform and shift. And what we like to call in quantum field, in quantum physics, is we shift the frequency. We tune to another station. Yeah. But we need to do that slowly because the beliefs and the frequency and the energy that we hold within the body is kind of integrated in there. It's like ingrained. So we need to slowly transform it, like Bernadette said before, layers by layers by layers by layers. Because otherwise, we can't just jump from the white circle to the blue circle, because you're not going to be able to hold that frequency. This circle will literally kick you back into the white because you do not integrate that feeling, belief, foundation to actually live in that environment. So you need to shift yourself and transform yourself to become a different person in your vision to actually live in this blue circle. And when you actually get to the blue circle, you will see the entire path backwards to the white circle where you used to live. And you will understand why you had to take every step on that road, why you had to do all the transformations and do the work, and why things was frustrated and why things were not going exactly your way. But when we are in that vortex, we are narrow, so we can't see what's actually going on. So we need help. We need support to actually transform something that's so ingrained in us that we can't see it, that we're blind to it. Yeah? Why is that important? Here comes Healy. Yeah. So Healy is the most, in my view, in my life and in my experiences, the most beautiful tool ever. Yeah. It not only helps us on a physical body, but it helps us on every layer of our body. It actually looks at things that we don't want to look at. Yeah. It shows us things that we are scared to literally see and face, let alone embrace. Yeah. So let's look at how we can actually transform our beliefs. Well, we know that a belief is a group of thoughts. We also know that the thought is the smallest particle in quantum field. So if we actually want to change our physical reality, we need to transform all layers of the belief and the thought and the layers that the thought is actually included in. That means that we actually need to change the thought that drives our beliefs, our emotions, our behaviors, our convictions, and also our nervous system. And we're going to look at why. So a thought drives the belief. For example, let's say you come into a situation in life when you get triggered. So does everybody know what triggers are? So the triggers are, when somebody confronts you and something feels in the body really like not really okay, and you're frustrated or you're angry, your emotions come up. Yeah. So those are triggers that come from the outside. It has nothing to do with those people. Zero. They were just a mirror in your life to show you the frequency within the body, to show you the thoughts, to show you the beliefs, to show you the emotions that are all within you. I know this is really hard to hear. And I'm coming from a place where I'm saying to you that there is no right and wrong. There is no good or bad. Everything in quantum field just is. It exists. There is no labels on it. We put labels on it. So I really want you to start stretching your brain in a way that you start observing yourself in a situation instead of being in that situation and reacting. So literally stepping 1-2 steps back and looking yourself in that situation, understanding the thoughts, the feelings, the emotions, the causes, yeah, of what you have been feeling before and believing before and what you believe now. So if I have a situation and I'm triggered, yeah, and the thought comes up and I say, I have to be right. In this situation, I have to be right. This is just an example. It can be anything, yeah? This actually sets the foundation of everything. It sets the foundation of your emotions in the body. It sets the foundation of your nervous system in the body. It sets the foundation of how you're going to either respond or react to that situation. It's going to actually influence your health. It's going to influence your emotional health, your mental health, your well-being, literally everything. Yeah? It also will convince you, your ego, your body, it will convince you what is right and what is wrong. Yeah, because on this level currently that we are, things are duality, meaning right and wrong, black and white, and things like that. So your challenge is actually, the first challenge before you do anything is to actually step out of this space and actually become an observer. Why is that important? Because if you are not in an awareness space, in an observer space, you will have a challenge to use Healy, because Healy is without emotions. And it will actually tell you things straight in your face that you won't really want to hear. Yeah. And until we are ready to face certain things that are not working for us in our environment and in our life, we are actually not ready to commit to change. And we change, meaning not good or bad, change just meaning different. Yeah, so change is not good or bad, it's just different. But is that different what you really would like? Are you going towards what you like? Because we were literally discussing this. Yeah, so is this driving me towards my vision, or is keeping me here stuck in the white circle, going, round and round on hamster wheel? So belief systems are a great guiding system for you to really understand, to check in, like we checked last week with focus. We have the contraction and expansion. So we can actually understand what focus state we are in. Is the feeling and the belief system that we are having right there and then drive me forward towards the vision I want to create, whatever that vision would be? Yeah? Or is it keeping me stuck in the mud, in that wide circle in the middle, not moving towards where I want to go? So the thought set the foundation. So normally the thought, if I say I have to be right, doesn't really mean that that's your belief. Yeah? Normally the first thought that comes up comes out of frustration, comes out of a place where I feel I need to protect myself, because that is the safe space within the body. So we need to kind of dig deeper. And this is where journaling comes in. This is where reflection comes in. This is contemplation, meditation, things that we can actually understand ourselves better. So we need to find the core beliefs behind that thought. So for example, if I would say I have to be right, well, why do I have to be right? Yeah, because if I'm not right, then I feel stupid. Or if I'm not right, I feel like, they won't take me seriously. So, I better just fail. Like I'll be failing. Yeah. Or if I'm not right, they're not listening to me and I feel angry. So do you see where I'm going? So every belief, every thought has different perspectives, but every perspective moving forward has an emotion attached to it. So emotion is actually the charge for our belief system. So if I say I have to be right because I believe I will fail, then I feel worthless. Feeling behind is worthless. If I'm afraid, for example, I have to be right because otherwise I'll fail, yeah, I'm afraid that if I'm not right, I actually will fail. So there's emotions behind every single core belief. And if we really dig down deep and ask ourselves questions, we can come to those core beliefs and then we can come to the feelings behind it. But either way, I'm now explaining what you can do with journaling. So we can go back to Healy when we actually looking the scans, you will understand the process why we are doing the scans. Because otherwise, you'll be just doing the scans and things will come up in real life, and then you won't have the tools to actually face things. And we don't want that because we want you to actually transform things in your life, turn them around. Yeah. So when we have an emotion charging a certain core belief, what happens in real life? So if we feel like, that we are, will be failing, so we are in fear, we become a fearful person. So the emotion drives the conviction or the truth of our reality. We define ourselves with our identity based on our core beliefs and the emotion charging those core beliefs. So if I feel like, they're not listening to me and I'm frustrated and angry, I'll become an angry person. I become that as an identity. So as soon as we start changing the core beliefs and the emotions behind it, we start transforming them, we as a person change. We're not angry anymore. We're not fearful anymore. We become more balanced. So we're not forcing things out of our body. We're actually bringing things inside our body. So we become more peaceful and calm and centered. Yeah. And with the conviction, as I said, drives the identity. The conviction also sets the reality of your life. So if you believe that you will never make more than this amount of money, yeah, that's what we call a glass ceiling, right? That's our belief system. And the belief system literally makes boundaries around our reality. And that builds our identity. There's also another level of beliefs that majority of people forget to look at. And that is the nervous system in our physical body. Why is that so important? Because this is our automatic response to anything. So if our core beliefs and emotions that are charging those beliefs are forming our identity, that means that we actually don't see them. Yeah, we are blind to them. And our nervous system, they're so integrated into our body that our nervous system actually reacts without us actually understanding why we reacted in certain ways. So this is normally when we have trauma. And I'm sure that every single person here has trauma. Yeah. And trauma doesn't have to be, huge, like, going through a war or rape or whatever that is, right? Trauma can also be a small child that was crying and was not heard and held. Yeah. And that was actually a belief that we formed as a little person in our core body. And our nervous system actually responds from that moment that we formed that belief. And as an adult, you probably wouldn't consciously understand that that's where it's coming from, right? Anybody that knows where that comes from when you were like a year old or less than a year and you were actually forming that belief in the body? So we can't, right? We consciously can't go in there. There's 90% of us are literally operating on a subconscious level. So we are responding to the environment from the subconscious level. 90% of that, we are only 10% conscious. So how do we change that? How do we actually look at things that are subconscious that we can bring up to be conscious so we can start transforming them? Yay! I have a resolution for you. It's Healy. Yeah? So Healy is amazing. Why? First of all, because it makes you look in a mirror, yeah, and actually look at where you need to shift and change and clean and move things around. Yeah. Yes, it's challenging. And majority of people, it's scary. I understand. I completely understand. But my question to you today is, if you really want to achieve change in your life, for example, you're feeling, tired and depressed and you want to be thriving and happy, or if you're feeling in pain and you actually want to have healthy body, or if you're feeling like you're unsatisfied in your life and you would want to create an abundant life, what are you prepared to do? Because the conviction and the commitment to that growth of yourself and to yourself is what's actually going to create focus, to guide you where you want to go, and to keep you going when things get tough. Because they will get tough. Tough in a way, not horrible. Oh my God, this is going to be horrible. Yeah? No. We are not used to, our brain, 3D brain, is not used to facing things that are scary and facing things that are challenging, because our fight and flight nervous system wants to run away, yeah, or freeze, or just fight something and run away then. So my challenge to you is, if you really want something, ask yourself why you want it, and are you willing to actually work for it until you get it? Because you can get it. And I am an example of that, exactly that. Yeah. I've been through a war when I was 8 years old. I almost died when I was 20. And I know how it is. And I have not figured out everything, but I know how it is to go from complete lack and to go from, not wanting to live to actually living, creating my own life consciously. And I really want you to understand that before you do anything, why am I saying this? Because vibrating Healy has a consequence. Yeah. So not a bad consequence. Everything in universe, as we've done in the first session, the laws of the energy, every action has a consequence, has its opposite reaction. So we need to understand that when we are actually deciding to do something, be it to help ourselves on the pain level, help ourselves on emotional level, help ourselves on a mental level, help ourselves on whatever level we are trying to support ourselves, there will be a consequence along the path. And we will need to support ourselves with tools and actually be consistent, moving and persistent, moving through those challenges. So if you are ready to transform your life, and if you're ready to actually be a completely different person, it's not going to be overnight. So I'm going to burst your bubble right away. Yeah? Because we are not conscious. We have 10% of consciousness of how deep we can go. We don't know where the root cause really lies. So we have to be open to understand that we need to trust our body, that whatever comes up, we are literally just working with it like a Play-Doh. Yeah, we're just molding everything into whatever we really want to do. And it can actually be fun, yeah, if we shift our perception towards that. So how do we do that? So now you know the structure of the belief system. So we know that we need to change the thought patterns. We need to change the emotional charge behind it. And we also need to actually be aware first so we can start observing and catching ourselves so we can start transforming. And then we also need to look at the body, the nervous system, because we are holding tension, electricity, and energy in our physical body. So, how we do that? First of all, awareness. You do the scans. Who does scans here? Who uses the Blue app regularly, daily? Perfect. So, if you are doing the scans, are you reading them or are you just vibrating them? You can unmute yourself, whoever would like to talk.
I do both. I always read them, yes, always, and vibrate.
Beautiful. So
yeah.
When we are reading the scans, it's beautiful because even if we are reading and even if we don't like certain things, what we are doing, we are training our conscious mind to look for those patterns in our environment. So what we're doing, it's like bubbles. From, if you have a glass of water and you have the mud on the bottom and the clear water on the top. So when we start vibrating into our environment and into our physical body, what we're doing, we are poking the water and the mud's coming up. Yeah. So the water becomes unclear. So it becomes muddy. That we think that that's actually worse. Well, it's not worse. We just haven't seen that before. So it's literally coming to the surface. But more we pour water in and more we poke the water with vibration, the mud will come out and the water will start clearing. So don't give up in the middle. That's my advice to you. Keep going. That's the first thing. But awareness and mindfulness, it's actually going to help you catch those patterns that are currently unconscious. And when we are vibrating the frequency into the field, we are bringing them up to the surface like bubbles. Our awareness will actually catch them in this field so we can make them conscious. And then we use Healy again to transform those thoughts. And we also use journaling and meditation and breath work and things like that in a physical level, because to help your body release. So I love to combine tools. Why? Because it's not a magic pill. Every part of your body needs a different approach. And if we don't offer that different approach, then it's hard to actually, sorry, I'm just going to meet a few people in. So it's hard to actually close the entire circle. Yeah. So if we're just poking on the energetic and then emotions are coming up and physical body's asking for help and we're not supporting it, we're not going to make a circle around to actually smooth everything out. It needs to flow all the time. So how do we do that? Emotions, so journaling, reflection, contemplation, meditation, spending time with yourself, being mindful and aware in every situation, looking it from an observer. So if something happens and you kind of feel triggered and you just want to be angry and react, take a breath. Step back and observe. And just go, okay, so why did that person say that? Why did I want to react that way? How am I feeling? Do I actually want to do this? Take a breath, maybe look at things differently, start asking questions. Yeah. And if you're not sure still and things are not on the surface, so, they might be quite underneath the surface, layers in, and you're not ready to actually consciously integrate that, well, then go and scan yourself with Healy. So the first thing we want to do is take away the emotional charge. Because when we take away the emotional charge, the memory in the thought comes up and we can consciously take a look at it without overreacting and using our physical energy to try to figure out what to do. Because when the emotional charge is calmed down and moved away, at least a certain percentage, we can rationally look at it from an observer view and start looking at different perspectives, not only ourselves. So aura scan is great for emotions if you want to go deeper. So to look at different layers of where certain emotions are. So for example, if I don't really know where certain things are coming from and what emotions are really coming up, and I'm not certain, I would run an aura scan. So I can actually go deeper into the layers of my body. And we're going to look at that next month, how to read that, what layers are, and all of that. So we're going to go into that so you can actually learn how to read an aura scan. But I would do an aura scan for the emotional part to actually see if the emotion is mine, if if it's ancestral, whatever. And I would literally read through the scan, uh, really study it, and then I would vibrate that for about 6 minutes, for about 4 weeks, the same scan. And I would literally observe with awareness in everyday situations if I can catch what emotions are coming up, and if there's memories coming up, if there's certain sensations in the body that I'm feeling. So I'm connecting back to the body, because the body will always tell me what's the right thing. My mind will not, because my mind wants to protect me. My ego wants to keep me small, to keep me alive. So my body will always tell me the truth. So if I'm okay with the emotion, and if aura scan is a bit too much, and I just want to look at a basic emotion, I would normally scan either Bach flowers or Schussel salts. Yeah, Schussel salts are really beautiful for anyone starting with the emotions, because they will tell you the emotion, they will tell you either the resistance or the balance, or something to help you what to focus on, and will also tell you what part of the physical body is actually influencing, meaning that you can start connecting to your body, understanding if you feel sensations in certain parts of the body, that if there's things coming up on the skin, if it's the immune system that's lowering. So there's all this stuff that you can actually take a look at within your body to observe with awareness daily when you're vibrating. Yeah. And then what I would do if I do scan an aura, I would normally look at all the entire list, and I would look at the desired states. And out of that desired state, I normally choose the top one. But if something else really resonates with me, I would take the desired state, I would copy it, and I would actually put it into a coaching program. Why coaching program? Because coaching program takes a look at your mental thought patterns, your beliefs. So what's preventing you to actually move forward in that direction, to balance your energy and change the thought patterns so you can shift the entire frequency? And I'll show you how to do that. So, and then what I would do, I would help and support the body. So if, for example, my body's feeling, I don't know, digestion is what I need support with, I would use physical programs on Healy to support my digestion. If I know that emotions are stuck in the body and I'm kind of feeling anxious, I would do yoga, or I would do facial exercises to actually release the tension, the electricity out of the muscle and out of the connective tissue. So we're going to look at the physical body more in depth in a few months. So we can look at how to connect the programs and the physical body exercises. So I'll share some exercises with you as well. And also somatic movements. Somatic movements are just body movements. If you are not in touch with your body, that's okay. If you just start tapping yourself and like hugging yourself, you will come back into the physical body, because our mind actually defines our boundaries when we hug. So we know that this is our inner container. So if you just do that, you will start feeling things in the body. And more often you do it, the more natural it will become. These are the basics of how I use Healy and how I used to transform my emotions and my thought patterns. And I'll show you now how I do that on the phone. So I'm just gonna stop sharing this so you can actually see how that looks like. Let me just go and connect with my phone. Okay, this one, and I need the blue app. Okay. And bear with me. Share the screen. Wait, this will be the case. Okay. Okay. And this one. Okay. That's very strange. How is that? Sorry, it moved my phone to a completely different position. Okay. Okay, okay. Let me try this. Screen. Okay. Can you see my phone screen? Everybody can see my phone? Let me go in Blue app. Can you see Blue app? Just give me thumbs up if you can see it. So I know that. Perfect. Okay. So if I go in here, I've done a scan before, so it's faster for us to actually look at. But what you can do, because I don't have any one of you, but if you in the future would like to have a proper session in the future, we can actually choose one of you and we can pop your details in and we can actually scan you and we can go through the basics of everything in there. Just let me know if that's something you would like to have. So what I did was actually I scanned my aura. I already have this. So it came up with my chakras. And what I did is, so there's a whole list of things in here. Yeah. But I took the first one. So the desired state here, if you look at it, is I am expressing myself authentically through my whole inner being. So I literally copied this intention and I went back into the coaching program and I've pasted. So when I did the analysis, so I pasted that in here. So select focus of or enter manually. So I entered my focus manually, exactly that intention. And then I scanned myself. So this was the scan and it came up with a will, yeah, and it always chooses the lower one. So then it scanned the lower one, which was the goals, and this was the focus. I'm expressing myself authentically through my whole inner being. So this actually popped out mental patterns of what's preventing me to do that. Yeah. So I would go through and I would read everything and I would sense and check in with my body and I would literally think of how would that be expressing in my everyday life. Am I feeling that? Am I resonating with that? Is that something that I would like to explore more deeper? If there's something that you're not sure of and you would like to explore it, start journaling on it or do a meditation and reflect on it. Yeah, there's different techniques you can use to support yourself through this journey. But what I would do, I would actually vibrate the aura scan and I would just vibrate and I would choose 6 minutes. That's my choice. You can choose 2 minutes. You can either manually choose 4 minutes if you would like to. I would, as I said in many previous sessions, I would encourage you to try it out and test it so you can actually see what your body prefers. I wouldn't do it longer than that, especially with emotions and patterns, because they can come up to the surface really fast. And what happens if you do it too long, like my partner did the other day, and I've shared this in last week's focus training, um, things can become overwhelming. So we can have all these emotions and beliefs and patterns and our negative talk come up at once, and it's harder to deal with, especially if you have a life to live every day. Yeah, so less is more. That's my thing. So I would choose 6 minutes. I would be done and I would literally start and it will vibrate to me for 6 minutes and I would vibrate the aura scan for 6 minutes and that will be it. Yeah? And I would do that for 4 weeks every single day. So I would focus on one thing, like I said before, and I would do it for 4 to 5 weeks, deciding what you would like. You can test it, but that's how I choose it. And then I actually go and reflect on it, on certain behaviors, on certain patterns, on certain emotions, and I actually try to reflect on my life, previous, past, present, future, journal on it, meditate on it. And when I go and live out my life outside, when I'm doing my everyday work, um, I actually start. I can stop doing this now. I actually start observing in the moment. So I would actually go and try this one. So I would actually go and I would have a trigger, yeah, and I would actually stop and start observing. And if something that you kind of feel like you've been overwhelmed, you can also use programs like Soul Cycle or, Balance Nerves or bed rest or things like that to calm your nervous system, so you can start thinking more clearly. Because when emotions are involved, you won't be thinking clearly, and it's going to be hard to transform things. So this is the way I use it, my experience, how I find things. I would love to hear if you have different approaches, if you have any questions, if you've learned anything new today, anything that resonated, I would love to hear it. This is now the time to ask questions, or share things with me as well that you are doing, and share it with the community, and we can learn from each other.
Well, if no one's going to speak, yeah, first, I'm going to.
Please do, Bernadette.
I can't believe I've had my Healy for nearly 3 years, and I have learned more in the last hour than I've learned.
Beautiful.
I mean, it's amazing, because I have the coach program. Mm-hmm. I've never been quite sure about what to do with it, but hey, tomorrow I'm going to do all of that.
Beautiful.
That's just amazing. Thank you so much. Because, it has been, I am running bed rest right now, because I do find it's a lovely program to calm the vagus nerve and all of that. But that you have just given me so much understanding. The very idea that to run the aura and then to observe and feel it never occurred to me. I just push the button, I read it, and I dwell on the words, but then I push the button and walk away. I ain't going to do that no more.
Beautiful.
Thank you. And now I need to go and catch up onto all your other programs, all your other talks.
Beautiful.
And tell all my Healy friends about it, because that's just incredible.
Please do.
That is incredible information. Thank you. Thank you.
You're welcome. And this is all that we are about, right? So if we want to bring something from the unconscious to the conscious, Healy that's what I've been saying for over 3 years now, almost 4 years since I have my Healy. And this is still my first Healy. Yeah. So it's still a bit broken and everything, but I'm still using it every single day. So I really wanted to understand to everyone, if we want to make something that's unconscious conscious, and instead of forcing our brain to understand how things work and over analyzing our belief systems and our emotions and things like that, emotions can't be analyzed. Emotions need to be felt in the body. That's how they are expressed. Our belief systems need to be discharged from the emotion so we can actually transform it. And when the belief system is discharged from the emotion, it actually evaporates. Just letting you know, it can be transformed in a second. So I want you to really understand how powerful you are as a human being. And this is a bridge. And I just hope, I'm really passionate about this, because I really hope and pray that everybody can see how powerful this device is. You have a device in your hands that literally can change your life if you are using it. If you're using it consciously in your life. This is a game changer, and you can change anything. And I'm not saying you need to rely on this, because it's not a magic pill and it's not healing or curing anything. But it is, if we're looking at, if our beliefs are creating our environment that we live in. So if we are shifting the beliefs and the belief systems within our body, then we are changing the environment we live in, and we are creating an environment for something better to thrive. So if a flower is not blooming, are you going to yell at the flower that it needs to bloom, or are you going to change the environment to actually shift and support it? So we can be really tough on ourselves. And when it comes to, facing our deepest truths and deepest fears and challenges, right? We tend to run away because our brain thinks it's going to die. But I encourage you deeply to be brave and build that courage up and really face yourself. Because when you do, I get goosebumps. When you really do, you will be amazed at what you can achieve. And I'm not kidding. And this is me coming from, you know, a, a person that, I had nothing when I was little. I lived before the war when we had one meal a day, when I had to wait in the line for an hour and a half to maybe get a loaf of bread. Yeah. And I moved across continents, build a completely new life because I shifted my perspectives, because I literally saw myself healthy, because I saw myself in a different country. I saw myself building a life and I was persistent to do it. But you need commitment, you need persistence, and you need conviction and dedication to yourself. And Healy is this beautiful tool that can truly empower you to transform, not just change a bit of your life, transform your life. And this is not on the Healy. This is on you, because Healy will tell you things without the emotion, pop them out on the board and tell you this. You might not like it, but if you actually accept what it is there in front of you, mold it as a Play-Doh, and actually create something out of it, imagine what you can create. Just imagine. And imagine if we all do this every day. I'm so passionate about this. If we all do this, imagine the communication, the conversations, the connections we could build with ourselves and others. Like, this would be a completely different community and world. Yeah. So I really encourage you, truly believe in yourself and use this, because it's powerful beyond anything I've seen in energy. Yeah, we are Heelys in essence. We are Heelys. But before you actually get to that state of consciousness that you can use your own energy to transform in minutes, this is a great bridge for you to learn and actually help you on that path. Okay, I see questions. Let me see in chat. I was missing everything. I'm so sorry. I see it, yeah. My news is I sold my first Healy. Yay! Yay, Niche! Well done. Well done, you. Okay, great. Celebrations. That was really helpful. Thank you. Thank you for this amazing what you have presented. That's beautiful. I'm glad it's of value. Because if I can share my knowledge and my experiences and help someone, it just lights up my heart. Fanny, thanks for Petra for your well explanation. I got to use my Healy professional and make Healy more advanced in a way I have not tried before. Yay! I love that. Love that. Send the recording this session. Yes, so recordings will always be sent through the email of Healy Corporate. So if you're opt into the newsletter of Healy Corporate, all the recordings will be sent by the end of the month for the past month, all of them together, all 4 of them. You will have all the sessions in there, and you can watch them at your pace whenever you want to, rewatch them if you want to. If you want it right away, you can also join our Healy Community Facebook group, which is Freedom with Frequency Quantum Community. And the recordings will be up this week, all of them individually. So you can actually do that. Yes, so that's about it. So recordings are always monthly, end of the month for the past month. But if you are wanting to search and watch everything that I've done for the last month and a half, you're more than welcome to join our community Facebook group. It's free. It's just in there because we can't post it into our Healy Corporate Facebook page because of the compliance. So you're more than welcome to join us, or just to listen to the recordings. You're more than welcome to share them with people in other Healy groups. Please do not share them publicly on your Facebook profile, because otherwise we'll get in trouble. Yeah, so just let's keep this going. I'm more than happy to share things with you, but we also need to be respectful as a company, because we want to be respectful to the laws as well that we have. I know, limiting, but there's always a way around it. Yeah. That's about it. Anybody else would like to add anything else? Anything that you would like to learn in the future? So next week, we are doing manifesting with Healy. So we're looking at the consciousness, and looking at the programs, and how you can use a Healy that way. But if anybody else would like to learn anything else, please let me know. You can always message me. Sorry, Lorraine, yeah, please let me know.
Oh, I was just going to ask, can you please tell me the name of that Facebook page again?
Oh, yeah, of course. Let me see if I can actually find it, and I'll share the link in the chat. How do I do this? Wait, here. Facebook, I'll just share this one with you. So you guys, it is mine and Katie's, Katie Chisholm.
Oh, is it?
Private Facebook group, but we have the recordings in there. And we, how do I do this? Okay, can you send me, I can't do this, something Facebook's giving me a hard time. If you message me, yeah, if you find me in the Facebook group, just message me and I'll share the link. Yeah, you can always find me in the Healy corporate members. So what is it? I always forget the name.
Healy Australia
members,
or whatever.
Australian members, yeah. So that's the corporate group.
Okay.
We have now a new Telegram group
as well.
Can
I just, Petra, can I just sort of say something about the mag for a second?
Do.
Yeah, so I mean, I love my mag, Healy, and I use it every night for sleep, right? Every night on the atmosphere, and have solid sleep. It is like a dream. Nothing wakes me up, nothing. And now, unfortunately, my little mag has had an issue, and I've sent it away to get fixed or replaced or whatever, but I've noticed the difference in my sleep without it. Honestly and truly, it's the best.
Do you have the normal Healy still?
Oh yes, yeah. I've just been running sleep.
No,
vibration.
Run the local stimulation insomnia, which is number 6. Yeah.
Oh.
So run number 6. This is my favorite program. I'm really sensitive, and I was working during the night because I feel energy and like I need to transmute everything. And during the night, I actually have downloads and I dream and I process, and I couldn't get a good night's sleep. As soon as I started using the Healy local stimulation and put it on the clips. So clips on 20 minutes, number 6, insomnia. My partner, he's next to me, he's also sensitive. He falls asleep 5 minutes into the program. I almost fall asleep. Normally, I kind of try to keep awake so I can put my my clips off. But probably about 10 minutes in, I'm half asleep. Yeah.
Wow.
So, and I sleep throughout the night because it works. If you do the clips, for me, try it. The sticky pads work for some better. For me, the ear clips are better because I feel it right down the vagus nerve. So that's my favorite program for insomnia. Anything tossing, turning, not sleeping throughout the night, or you want a deeper sleep, it's a really good one. So if you don't have your Meg, if you don't have your Meg, I love Meg too. So I can relate to that. Insomnia is my best one. I've tried other sleep programs. The free flow is great for grounding if you don't have grounding sheets at home or anything else. But just do it throughout the day. Bed rest is really good for nervous system. Balanced nerves is really good before bed as well. It balances the nervous system, the parasympathetic and the sympathetic. But for me, the best thing that works is the insomnia. That's my favorite.
Okay. Well, thank
Yeah.
you very much for all you're doing for
You're
us,
more than
because
welcome.
honestly, this is really great. And I have a lot of limiting beliefs. You know, I can't do this, I can't do that. So I will re-listen to this tonight. And so thank you.
You're more than welcome, and welcome to the club. We all have them. Otherwise, we wouldn't be here on earth. And I
Yeah.
really wanted to, all of you to understand that I am no better. I'm still working. When I'm scanning myself, I'm still working on myself. And there's things that come up that I'm thinking, like today, things came up, and I'll be really vulnerable. I had a beautiful, my birthday was last week. And I had a beautiful weekend, and I actually booked myself, first time in my life, I booked myself a solo retreat for my soul for 2 nights away, 3 days. And I was meditating, working on myself, doing my Healy, going into nature. And I've done a lot of work, and I came back, and a really deep emotion that I've been working on for years came back up. And I'm like, I've been working on it for so long. But because it's layer by layer by layer by layer, and I understand the way my body works and the way the energy works, is when we clean out the layers and we do a lot of deep work, like I've been doing for the last few days, things that have been really deep underneath will rise up. And then I literally started switching in my head. Remember, belief system? Oh my God, I didn't do anything. No, take a breath. And I was like, no, Petra, if it's here, that means it's on the surface. You can transform it. So if you're actually understanding how energy works, you'll be excited when you see these things. You will actually say, oh my God, I've done the work. Oh my God, I can do this, right? And you can move through this. And I know you all can, otherwise you wouldn't be here. Trust me. Yeah. So please take care of yourself. Be kind to yourself. Yeah. Any recordings you want, you can get them. But if you have any questions or anything you would like to learn in the future, that you would like to touch on or you want to have in your life, please let me know, because I'm preparing topics for the next year. So would love to include them in, so we can actually start exploring the way you would like to explore. Because I can talk for hours until the cows come home, but I don't know if that's what you want, right? So you need to tell me, because otherwise I'm kind of alone here.
I can watch you until the cows come home.
Oh, beautiful.
I agree.
I can listen to you until the cows come home. I am so
excited.
My
goodness. I am in awe. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you
for the
so
feedback,
much.
because it means a lot, because I don't know what, the community needs. And I literally started doing these trainings out of my intuition, because it was driving me into this. And I am honored to do this with you. And I really, really want to co-create with you, because otherwise, I get goosebumps. Otherwise, I'm just walking alone, and it's not really fun. Don't get me wrong, I'm happy with my life, but it's not fun doing it together, right? And also, you won't feel as alone. We're all struggling, trust me. We are all struggling with certain things, and nobody's perfect. And if we just open up a bit, and let some people in, so we can actually enjoy life and have the heart filled. That's what life is all about, is the joy and connections that we make along the way. That's how I see it, nothing else. Link, share the link. What link? Enjoy the session. Thank you, Learned Heaps Tonight. Perfect. I will let you go, because we are over an hour, so I want to be respectful towards your time as well. As I said, any questions, anything, just tag me in the posts in the Healy group. I will, if you need to go and join our group with the trainings, please message me. All the trainings will be sent end of October, for the October, directly onto your email. But otherwise, I am wishing you a beautiful night. Be kind to yourself. Please love yourself. You are more powerful than you think you are. And I will see you next week, hopefully. When we have a special guest. We have a special guest. So we're talking about manifestation, and I'm really excited. So And I'm looking forward to bring more community people in here so we can actually share the knowledge. But I love you heaps. Thank you for the feedback.
Thank you.
Have a great
you,
night,
Petra.
and I'll see you next week. Bye-bye.
Bye. Bye, everybody. How
Bye.
beautiful.
Bye.
Beautiful it was.